Good evening and welcome back. Let's now talk business. We begin with the Kenya floriculture sector is bracing itself for a surge in demand in the near to medium term as demand for Kenyan cuts flowers blooms in both the Chinese and the newly opened American markets. Sector stakeholders continue to insist that the Kenyan product is the most sought after the world over, despite local challenges for the sector, and should fetch a premium in the new markets.
The Kenyan flower continues to attract more prospective buyers beyond the traditional EU markets, with over 5,000 flower growers, breeders and buyers arriving in Nairobi for the annual International Flower Trade Expo, now in its 6th year. The expo is timely for Kenya, coming at a time when the country is set to introduce direct flights to the US, following the classification of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to Category A status. For the 6th year in a row, Kenya's flowers have been a sensation in the US, but until the categorization, it has been a costly and lengthy process to shift the country's flowers to the world's biggest market after the EU.
75% of the world's production of flowers is bought in America, Japan, and Europe.
The Kenya flower sector is also targeting the vast market in China, whose potential could be the silver bullet for the Kenyan flower market. However, flower players have been finding it hard to penetrate the market and are now calling upon the government to intervene by negotiating on their behalf.
What we need is the logistic link, the air bridge between Kenya and America. And as I understand it, we already have got a certain amount of authorization to allow direct flights, but I've got no further information of when that might happen.
Kenya's position astride the equator and a varying climatic condition enables the country to grow flowers that compete with those from Ethiopia, Ecuador and Colombia that are in the same horizon, making the nation the top flower producing spot.
We should be able to carve out a special incentive scheme for the flower industry. If we do that, then the question of expansion on the ground means that it will be very probable, and we can expand the earnings for the government through consumption taxes, for instance.
The Kenyan flower players have also been urged to familiarize themselves with the requirements of planned exports to the US. These will help avoid interceptions or the rejection of produce at border points in the USA when they receive a green light to export. Plant produce need to be free of pests and diseases and needs to meet all the phytosanitary requirements of the US market in order to be allowed